This episode of the Towing Life podcast is brought to you by BA Products. From innovative products such as the Container Link, Tanker Tube, Frame Hook, patented 8-point tie-down, and more, BA Products is always developing products to better assist towers today and for tomorrow. Reach out to one of our BA distributors today to see how we can help elevate your towing and recovery procedures. I can't get no satisfaction.
And demonetized.
And we're banned again. Son of a.
They send me a bill in the mail.
Yeah, you owe us. He's sexy and he tows it. Oh my God, I have a genius idea.
What's that?
I'm going to remake that.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. The Towing Life podcast will begin momentarily.
The Towing Life podcast.
That's a performance-enhancing device.
I need performance. That's not going to sound right.
Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Towing Life podcast.
Welcome to the Towing Life podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drives are not. I am your host, TowManG, and as usual, I am joined by my co-host, friend, and former co-worker, the one chain wonder himself, the guy who has very strong opinions, Mr. PlainGuy.
What is going on, G? What is going on?
Oh, just another beautiful day. How about yourself? What are you up to?
Oh, been sleeping, been getting a little nap in. Yeah. When you're not a tow truck driver in captivity like yourself, we tend to carry some odd hours, some weird jobs, and some all-nighters more often than I would like. So yeah, caught up on a little bit of rest. Here to do the show, happy and energized and ready to go.
Energized? You're like the Energizer Bunny? You sure do sound like it.
I know. I don't know if I'm losing my voice or if I'm tired or what it is. I definitely have lost a little bit of my zing. But speaking of audio, I do.
Stuff that you've been eating lately.
Oh, we will get into that. We will get into all the good stuff I've been eating. Before we do get into that, though, I also want to apologize for those that did listen in and tune in last week. I know we encountered some slight audio. There was some higher levels, lower levels. We are working things out. As with anything, when you start to grow and you start to make changes, there is always kinks to work out. So we promise you, we are working on making it better. Hopefully, this week goes off without a hitch. And hopefully, the next time our wonderful producer, Sarah, is back, we will have some better audio as well. She is not here this week, but she will be returning to an episode near you. Yeah. It's also a good.
We work behind the scenes most times anyways, but we have to get her back on the
stuff she is able to the ideas she is able to come up with, the views that she has outside of you and I who are right in it, and an outsider looking in tends to get a whole nother view on stuff, and the topics that she brings and the ideas. Because, it's invaluable.
When we sit down, we think about ideas to talk about on this show. We skip over the most mundane things. Like, we just don't even think of those as topics. And she comes in and is like, oh, what about that? And we're like, yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah.
Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah. We do that every day. Why didn't we think of that? I don't know.
So I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed Jeopardy. It's something we're definitely going to have to bring back at one point.
Hopefully with better internet for myself next time.
Yes, hopefully with better internet from yourself. So it's also a good time to mention, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you would like covered in the show, you can find us at www.towinglife.ca. You can email us at thetowinglife@gmail.com or visit us at the Towing Life Podcast on Facebook. Your comments, questions, concerns are always welcome. You can always find us, if you're watching on the YouTube side, at the Towing Life Podcast, where you can leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, plus, minus, F4.
Don't F4. That normally closes things.
Oh, okay. Don't F4. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. F4 is bad on YouTube.
Yeah. I think
Be
it's
sure
Alt
to,
F4. Don't Alt F4. Don't do that.
oh no. Someone's gonna try it now just for the sake of it, and you're gonna owe them a new computer when they kill it. So yeah, be sure to check out all the spots on the website, the Facebook page every week, guys. If you want to show off your rides, keep an eye out for the light duty warriors, the heavy duty warriors. We alternate every week. Some of the photos we get from guys, we've got some trucks from Europe last week. We've gotten some, some double pin loads, all that kind of stuff. Be sure to share those photos when you see the light duty or heavy duty warrior, wherever you are listening or whatever you are driving. Be sure to get involved. It always makes it a lot more fun, a lot more interactive. I would like to say that we are Canada's #1 towing podcast and also Canada's #1 interactive Facebook podcast. Because if you name enough categories, you're going to be the best of that specific region. So that is what I'm going for this week. I mean, we've been caught. We're worried about getting in trouble for music. What about just false claims? Like, are we going to get banned on Facebook for misinformation?
I don't know. We need some independent fact checkers. Sarah,
where is our producer to fact check these things? So stay tuned to find out more if we will be here next week or if we get in trouble. So you're mentioning what I've been eating, and is that causing my voice issue? No, it is not what I have eating that is causing my voice issue.
On.
But it is a great topic to talk about. We've talked about it before, eating healthy on the road. The importance of getting good food in, getting, the energy it'll help, or lack thereof. The reality is there is times that come that you may not have the fresh option. Those gas, this reminded me of last night. Here we go again. Those gas stations used to have, if you remember, used to always serve, have some food. Like
some hot food on a little rotisserie, and
some sandwiches. Even maybe we're going way back when they'd have some in-house stuff that was made, right? Truck stops were like that. They had a lot of in-house healthy.
You never get the egg salad because you don't do egg salad gas station food.
I do chicken salad gas station food. I'm not gonna lie.
The egg salad is You have to stop at the next truck stop to get rid of it.
Yeah, I was at a truck stop last night, and I kid you not, I won't name any names on it. They had where they cooked in-house, made the sandwiches, like the chicken salad sandwiches, the egg salad sandwiches. Mm-hmm. They had the ones with the veggies on the side and all that, all in-house made. And God, I miss that. Because what ends up happening, and I've blurred out the logo on this one here, is that I went out to a place. I stopped. I got some fast food. I'm sitting there. I won't name the place. You can probably tell by the wrapper, but that's irrelevant. I cut it off the cup. I go, did you freeze or are you still there? Oh, he's bouncing around. G's bouncing around once again. Here goes the internet anytime something loads up. So I get this fast food. I'm sitting down. I'm reading news articles on my phone, eating away at this chicken sandwich. It's a hot Nashville chicken. So it's got lots of bread and got lots of spice on it. I don't really taste anything, just taste the hot sauce. It was good. I'm reading an article on my phone, and all of a sudden I take a bite and I go, that felt chewy. And I look down, and the photo's up on the screen for those listening, watching on YouTube, to the most raw chicken I have ever eaten in my life. And being the gentleman that I was, I realized they made a mistake on this. I brought it up to the counter to show them. Not because I'm going to berate anybody. Let's be honest. All these fast food places that we tend to frequent, the staff there, these teenagers, is whatever, they have directions from their head office. You put this piece of meat in this fryer for this long. That's it. If there's a problem with the fryer, they don't know. I'm not saying it's right, but it is what it is. And so that was a perfect example like this. They actually had another chicken that was cooking. They pulled it out. They checked it. It was raw as well inside. There was a problem with the broiler. Now there's customers ready to order their food sitting right next to me. And the girl that looks at it yells out, the chicken is raw. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm trying to help you out. I am not making a scene of this. I don't want to cause any problems with this. I am just trying to bring it to your attention so that somebody else doesn't get sick. And you are not helping things by yelling across this restaurant where it can all be heard that the chicken is raw. You want to lose business? That is a quick way to do it. Fake it until you make it. It is what makes great tow operators, and maybe these fast food restaurant employees have to learn to incorporate that. We have lost G once again. No matter what we try doing, we have him back. We do have you back, G. Perfect timing. I just finished my raw chicken sandwich. Sorry. I was nice enough to carry this podcast on my back while you sorted out your internet issues once again. G, you're here.
For now. Right now.
All right, for right now. So yeah, the downsides of eating on the road, right, is that you want to find those healthier options. Sometimes you don't, but keep an eye on what you are eating because it is not hard.
Yeah,
that idea of a nice
wraps to eat them. Oh, there's a bad echo right now. Oh, there we go. That's better. When you get those wraps, because they're easy to eat while you drive, and you just rip the top off from the Tim Hortons and the McDonald's have them as well. You never look down.
No,
that's the whole point of having a wrap, is so you can look at the road and eat, right?
It isn't until you get a weird texture or a weird taste in your mouth that you go, huh. Now, I have eaten enough fast food on the road to develop what I call an iron gut, because I will tell you that raw chicken, I never had a cramp. I never had an indigestion. I never had anything. My body, you would not have known that I had just eaten probably half a burger worth of raw chicken.
Oh, God. I guess it was very spicy, so you didn't really taste the raw chicken until halfway through.
I didn't even really taste it when I tasted it. I just assumed it just tasted a little. Like at first, I thought it was a fatty chicken, which fast food chicken, let's be honest, is not chicken breast.
Yeah,
for the most part, this actually looked like it was. Like that looks like a nice piece of chicken breast. But yeah, normally I just assumed it was fatty chicken at first, and then it wasn't until I got this weird texture that I went, "Ooh, something is not right with that."
But is that going to stop you from eating fast food?
No.
Is it going to stop you from eating at that restaurant?
No.
Oh.
Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Mistakes happen, right? That's like saying if you had one bad experience with a tow truck, is that going to stop you from using? Guys make mistakes. Things happen. I look at how they dealt with it. The first thing they went and did is checked another piece of chicken that they were cooking, realized that it was also raw.
Yeah.
Which that was my concern, is that I didn't want somebody else to get sick.
Yeah.
And realized that it was raw, realized there was a problem with the broiler, took the chicken off the menu until they could come to, fix this problem, and refunded me my meal.
Yeah.
So I look at it as how they would handle it. So would I ever eat there again? Absolutely. I might order a burger instead of the chicken because I'd rather have a little bit raw meat rather than raw chicken.
Yeah.
And the burgers are grilled or whatever it is. They're not deep fried, but yeah, no, it wouldn't. We're too quick to do that.
Yeah.
We're too quick. Too many people, and not even too quick, but you can never judge a company, and this applies to towing, right? You can never judge by a situation that happened. You can judge by how they handled the situation after and how they made it right. Yeah. And I'm not a guy looking for hundreds of dollars worth of gift cards because, luckily I didn't end up having any indigestion issues. It didn't affect my day. It didn't, you know what I mean? Yeah. It could have, but at the same time, people make mistakes. So accept that. Accept that mistakes happen. And companies, if you're listening, just look at how you manage them. Yeah. Right? If we took those two approaches into society, I think we'd be better people overall.
But going back to the actual chicken thing, my first real job, I was working for the city, and the guy who was driving the truck, he could not eat beef from any fast food place. And we were working in downtown of Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. And he got chicken everywhere he went, right? So he constantly looked for chicken. And that was one of the things that he told me. He was like, whenever you go into any of these places and you're ordering chicken, always double check. Because if the beef is a little undercooked, it is what it is. If the chicken's a little undercooked, it's a bit bigger of an issue.
Yeah, no, and that's something I may do from now on, especially when, you know what I mean? When I get chicken, I might actually check it a little bit. Yeah. I'll be the first to admit, I'm a barbecue guy. I love barbecuing, not just barbecue out on the road. I love barbecuing. I hate barbecuing chicken. Hate it with a passion because I am so worried about undercooking the chicken that I will normally 9 out of 10 times overcook the goddamn thing. I will make sure it is a dry piece of leather when I am done because I am so worried about serving people.
Get yourself a meat thermometer.
Yeah, you know what technology that is available now?
Yeah,
I still do my steak the old school way. You push it and you can feel, depending on, I don't know if you've ever seen that way. I don't know the full logic and science behind it. You take your index, you take your index to your thumb and you feel this little squishy area right here.
Yeah.
That would be, so that would go more from the rare side, medium rare, well done. And I still do that with my steak to tell it's so I'm still in the old school. I'll take a little knife and cut it open right before I'm ready to pull it off. Make sure we're good. Normally by that time I break the knife on the chicken because it's a little overcooked, but it is on too.
There's these new devices though. Like the girlfriend keeps sending me things because I never take a lunch to work, right? I don't feel like packing a lunch. I don't feel like carrying it around with me. And I know guys that do it, and it's an easy thing for them to do. But for me, I've never had that habit, so it'd be hard for me to get into. Anyways, there's these devices that apparently plug into a cigarette lighter that's like a microwave, but it's not a microwave.
It's a lunchbox.
It's like a heating
heated lunchbox. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those. I had some family members use it. I didn't use mine as much. You used to be able to, if you put foil, you could put a can of soup in. And we're talking the chunky soup, like not the Campbell's garbage. And you would put the chunky soup in and you would close the lid and you would plug it in the morning. And by lunchtime, the soup was cooked and ready to go.
Wow. And
you could have a hot lunch on the road. Yeah. No, I used to have one. I still have it. You know what? That thing's probably sitting in storage at my mother's place somewhere. Still sitting there. It never would have thrown it out for whatever reason.
I like those ideas. I really do. But it's one thing if you get a bunch of passengers and you got to take passengers. I'm not sure if you guys are taking passengers, but you got to leave your space consumption in your truck to a minimum if you are, right? Because there's nothing worse than, for me, I switch trucks from time to time. So I leave everything, all my straps, my gloves and everything is in a bag, right? So I can just grab the bag out of my personal, throw it in there, and I've got all my equipment. I've got my Slim Jim, my airbag, my wedge, then just throw my long bars in, and I'm pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Right?
You worry about something like that.
Yeah. Now, if I got to grab this big box to heat up my meal, plus a lunch bag on top of that, that's two more things. That's another seat taken up. My bag of equipment, I'll throw that into a toolbox if need be. I don't care. Throwing that and my lunch bag into a toolbox with rusty chains and everything, now that's coming back into the truck and normally sitting on a seat.
It's sealed. Oh, you're worried about getting dirty. Because it's sealed. It's not going to affect your food.
I know, but bouncing around, if it falls in a toolbox and lands on metal chains or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're driving in the flatbed, whatever, you got it down on the floor next. Like there's ways around that, right? I've always got my book bag. I have a go bag that I always normally grab with me. I'm going on a long run again tonight, middle of the night. First thing I'll do is I'll grab my go bag. It normally has sunflower seeds. It normally has a couple bottles of water or Gatorade in it. It's got phone card, charging cord, all that. Like that takes up a spot. You just sit it next to it. It's not the end of the world. It's a very innovative idea that is used to help, anyone in a driving industry. Speaking of innovative ideas, I have said it before and I will say it again. If you don't have a piece of BA product on your tow truck, you have no idea what you are doing. They have brought absolute amazing new products, from innovative products such as the container link, tanker tube, frame hook, and the patented 8-point tie down. If you aren't running the 8-point tie down and you are running a flatbed and you are still running chains, head on over to BA Products. Check out the 8-point tie down. This will change your life. BA Products is always developing products to better assist towers today and for tomorrow. So reach out to one of our BA distributors today to see how we can help elevate your towing and recovery procedures. Be sure to support those that support your favorite podcast and visit them at baprod.com. That's baprod.com today to find all kinds of goodies. So many goodies available through BA products.
I was actually cleaning out my truck the other day, and I got passed down a couple of straps. I got an old pair of dolly straps and a couple of ratchet straps and a couple of chains and everything. And I was going through it. I was actually looking for the key for the tow truck itself because someone moved it on me and I couldn't figure out where it was. So I literally pulled all my baskets out and redid all my straps. And I've got these two ratchet straps that I love. Amazing. Like they're just the best. They always work perfectly fine. I grease them up every now and then. And I looked at them. They're BAs.
Yes, of course they are. You would be
surprised. Ratchet straps, and it's like this, like the normal, like Canadian Tire ones that I get, they're all right. they normally only last like 3 to 4 months. These BA ones are going on like 2 years strong now. And it's just
Absolutely.
like I could see the difference in build quality, and it's just I don't take care of them any more than I do the crappy ones. They get thrown into the same box half the time, wrapped up. The other time, eh.
I will be the first one. We got a brand new truck not long ago. I've still been going through adding equipment because as you use it, you realize things that you need to incorporate. And I pulled out a bag and put on the truck the other day 2 brand new BA cluster straps. Those are a must-have on anything if you were going to tow with chains, even if you still do. Like I said, anything half ton and up, I tend to chain. Those cluster straps are an absolute lifesaver. Just pulling out a brand new set, bright yellow, running them back through, strapping them down to the bed. It felt good. And you're right. I have tried the other brands. We recently had tried some 8-point tie downs from another brand. And there is something, the strap is different. There's things I like, there's things I don't like. The ratchets.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with the ratchets. You are right. The ratchets are phenomenal. There's something about whenever you're using that 8-point tie down, you open and release it, and you give it a snap on one side and a pull on the other, and it unlocks to get your slack out, and then you pull the tail, and it flips back into its latch, and then you're just up and over, tied down, you're gone.
Yeah.
When it comes to quality, you can, places have tried to mimic.
Yeah.
Have tried to mimic the product. It happens, right? Imitation is the best type of flattery. But when it comes to quality, I will not promote anything that I will not use myself, and they are a level above. So thank you for the fine folks at BA Products. We will not make this whole episode a commercial, but at the same time, we want to, be sure to shout them out. And don't forget, guys, to head over to BAPROD.com. Go look at their catalog. It is like the Princess Auto of tow truck dreams is what that is. If you don't know what a Princess Auto is, you're probably part of the 70% of our listenership that is from the States. You have
any farms, PV Mart. If you guys got a PV Mart down there, it's like that. Any farm supply, tractor supply store, anything like that. TSC.
It is the Harbor Freight with good product.
Yeah.
There it is.
Harbor Freight mixed with an O'Reilly's parts store put together with better quality stuff.
It's like Tim Hortons meets Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I've lost everybody. Sometimes you got to take a shot and throw shit out of your mouth that you don't really think about before you say. That is 90% of the show. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, speaking about losing some, have you ever had a winch just fail on you and you lost the car?
Yes, I haven't. But yes.
Do you charge them anymore? Now that you have to winch the car out twice? Or do you just say, that was my equipment failure, and you just, leave it at that?
Oh, okay. So no, I was thinking a different scenario. So you winch your car out, your winch releases or fails, or, you didn't properly engage it, which tends to be what happens most of the time.
You made more work for yourself.
The vehicle rolls into the ditch. Do you charge them more? No.
Yeah, like if you're doing like an hourly rate and something fails, right? And now you've got to be there longer, and they're already paying the hourly rate.
No,
you're going to do the
terrible.
deduction of the
It's
extra hour to get back.
That's like whenever you backed your wrecker into a Jeep that had a drive shaft issue, and it rolled away into the ditch. Did you then charge the customer a winch out?
No,
it's the same thing. No, I ran into this was a great story. We ran into a story not long ago, or an issue not long ago. A driver got sent out to do a winch at a campground. Okay. So he gets there, he gets set up, everything. He's about ready to go, start rigging the truck up. The customer goes to him, and he is a newer driver. And the customer goes to him and says, hey, the park warden or whatever he was offered to push it out. Can you just help him and we'll push it out instead of winching it out? And my driver said, yeah, that's fine, but the charges still apply. And so the guy agreed, and they ended up just pushing it. It was a little Hyundai on some soft grass. It wasn't anything crazy, but we don't put our vehicles on soft grass, right? We winch. That's what we have winches for. And he pushed him out, and the customer called the day later, that night, whatever it was, and complained about the pricing. And he said, well, your driver never used his winch. Why should I have to pay the full rate for a winch? And it opens a good question. It is, yes, You were aware of what the service was and the cost was before we had it out. We had to send a truck with a winch because you requested a winch. Now, all of our trucks have winches, but we have trucks that are better equipped to do any sort of recovery or pull-out work than others, right? So we sent that truck out. The driver got there. You requested that he pushed him out. If you were just looking for a buddy to come out and push you out, you should have called a buddy.
Yeah.
You didn't. Fuel is at an all-time high, and you requested a truck to come out and winch you out.
Yeah.
Now, but it begs the question, if situations like that change and you don't end up using the truck as hard as you would anticipate in your quote, do you lower the price? I say no.
Well, the way I look at it, your light service, your lockouts, your boosts, your tire changes, all that normally has their own rate. They're normally bundled together as light service, right?
We don't. Our boosts and our tire change and our unlocks are all slightly separate, different prices.
Well, you're
not that they are. The boost and the unlock are the same price. Your tire changes are actually higher.
See, I'm okay with that. But generally, your light service has a separate rate, right?
Yes.
You send a driver, he needs to get there, right? So it doesn't matter what vehicle you send. You just got to get a driver there to do that job. So let's just call that $50 for easy sake, right?
Easy round numbers.
Right?
Absolutely.
$50 light service. You send whatever you got. Your winch outs, let's call $100. Just a flat $100 just to keep it simple. So this guy, he calls you. I'm stuck in the mud. Okay, that's going to be $100. It's 5 kilometers away from your shop, right? So it's just going to be a flat. That's your rough ballpark because you always say it's a rough quote over the phone. The driver will assess. He gets there. He gets out of his truck and he pushes the car out, right? Yep. So when he gets there, he can turn the tow truck off. The same as you would, I hope, if you're doing a tire change, you turn the truck off, you put your windows down, right? You save that fuel for the 5-10 minutes, however long it's going to take you to do that service.
Only G makes 15-minute tire changes.
I said 5 to 10. I didn't say 15. Anyways, are you still charging $100? We went there for the job because we would have had to use the truck. We would have had to pull out a winch cable. We would have had to use the PTO and leave the truck running that whole time. I feel not. If I show up there and I push you out, I'm charging just a light service fee because that's what it is.
I don't agree.
But look at it the other way.
Okay.
You show up, you say, yeah, it's going to be about $100, right? You get there, the car's down a 16-foot embankment on its side. You're not charging $100. You're charging more because there's more work.
Yep.
Now, what if there's less work?
Winching starts at this. Winching starts at this. Recovery work starts at this. You called for a service. I gave you a price on the service. I provided the service. I collect my rate that I have set out to you. I'm not saying you don't tell them the price and then you know what I mean, up them. No, customers are aware of the price before you, especially in a world this competitive. Customers are always aware of prices before you even attend. So, yes, you are aware that this is my service. If a washer, dryer, repairman comes out, he charges you a service rate to come out. If the service rate is less because he looks at it and goes, there's a problem and walks away, is he charging you less? No. Why are we in such a hurry to discount?
But I'm not saying discount.
That is discounting.
Your same analogy as the washer.
That's discounting.
Right? No.
Okay.
Let's say your dryer, the motor's gone in it, right?
Okay.
So he gets there. He needs to find the part number on the motor, right?
Yeah.
So he can order it. Well, that motor is going to be $250. He realizes that it's just a loose connection. He now reattaches that loose connection and your dryer works perfectly fine. He's not going to charge you that extra time to go and pick up the motor because he doesn't have to. He's not going to charge you for that motor because that's no longer a part that he needs to buy, right? So he's gone there. He's still charging you the bare minimum for showing up.
Which their bare minimum for showing up normally includes not all of the stuff picking up parts, but includes the diagnostic, includes whatever it does. If your customer knows the price and your customer agrees to the price, the customer is not paying me to winch their vehicle out of the ditch. The customer is paying me to get their vehicle back onto the road and on their way. However I do that, why would I discount it? Right? You're paying for your equipment to head out there. Yes. No, we have a service vehicle. So whenever you say that, yeah, your light service, why not just charge them that? Well, because if it was a light service, I would have sent out my service vehicle. Then I could get away with it. If I knew he just needed a push, I would send out my service vehicle and push him with, an employee. Then we can talk about it. But if I am sending out a full-size truck, because I am under the impression, based on the information the customer has given me, that he needs to be winched out, I am sending the appropriate equipment. I am charging to get that vehicle out, however it may be. Now, I'm not going to go, and you're right, turn this into the $200 and some pole, whatever it's going to be, because I ended up pushing him out. There's no reason to add more equipment or anything to the billing, but I am charging him the rate that I charged him to show up. Put it this way, the cost for me to show up, this is the cost. Once I get there, the rest of it is pretty well free if it's just a simple winch out or pull out. You are paying to get me there, right? These are the same customers that will complain whenever, they call for a winch out. You got to go out of your way for mileage. It's a little bit tricky. There's some higher risk involved. You do the winch out in 5 minutes. I did that winch out in 5 minutes because I've been trained. I've got experience, everything like that. And suddenly you can't justify why your winch out was $100 and some for 5 minutes because they don't see the cost involved. They don't see anything like that. Fuel prices going up are the one thing in the industry that I believe, as much as it has hurt us, it has also helped us. Because when you explain these higher rates to customers now, they are more apt to understand because they see the fuel. They think about that now. Oh, why did it cost so much to get out here? Why is it this rate of mileage? Because fuel is 20, 60, I don't know what it's at right now, a liter. Yeah. $2 a liter for diesel right now, which equates to what, like $6 or $7 a gallon.
Yeah.
They understand the rates. Now, the problem is our rates haven't gone up to match it. You're seeing fuel surcharges and everything else, but it is the one thing that has helped with the rates. But when you call me and tell me I have a car in the ditch, I need a tow truck, and I send you out a truck, if I quote you our base entry for a winch out, you are paying that regardless if I push the car out or if I pull the car out.
See, now I'm the opposite. I guess I get points for how much of a dick is TowManG this week because if I don't need the truck, why am I billing for the truck?
Because the truck got you there.
But the truck would have got me there for a $50 unlock at the same location, right? I'm not making the company's truck work. The company is already okay with making the set amount of money for that truck to go that distance just to sit, right? So who's really losing out on this? The operator?
Well, right? Then you're a commission driver, correct?
Yes.
Why are you selling yourself short then?
Because
that is what you were doing.
I'm not selling myself short. I'm going there and I'm saying to the guy, hey, listen, I pushed you out. You weren't that bad. It was supposed to be $100, but I'm only going to charge you the service fee because I was able to get you out myself without having to use the equipment. Here's the $50. Here's the fuel surcharge. Here's the tax, whatever the case may be. Have a nice day. Here's your break. Pay it forward.
No, that's not how customers are going to look at it. Customers are going to look at it the next time that I expect my winch out for whatever the discounted rate that you offered him was. Because why? It was you only used the truck for a minute or 2 minutes to get me out instead of being able to push me out. So why should I pay any more?
Well, that's
you were setting the trend. You're set out. They don't listen. Customers don't listen if you haven't noticed. They don't. That is like telling them winching starts at 125. All they hear is 125. Yeah. Customers don't listen. You know that. You have ran into enough customers on the road to know that they don't listen. All you are doing, it is the same thing if you're down in an area and you do a call and then a COD call comes in around the corner and you know what? I was already here. I'll cut you a deal. The problem is that customer now wants that deal the same next time. You are setting the trend. You are setting the example. You are racing the industry to the bottom. I'm not blaming you solely, but that is what happens whenever you do these kind of situations. We are a service that is already, you look at the rates for towing, they're already well below most industry standards. Yeah. Why are we lowering them even more? Driving is a privilege, not a right. It comes with a cost, right? You think the gas station says we got a deal on gas this week? Don't worry, we'll sell it to you a little cheaper. No. You know what I mean? You think the electrician that has a 3-hour minimum call out, but had a call around the corner is cutting you a deal? No. Why are we subject to that? Why do we feel the need to provide that? You know what I mean? What makes us different than them?
I get it. I do. I really do. Trust me, I do. But you won't get the complaints like you got. A guy calling.
You know what? No, this actually turned out there's here's the twist to this story.
Oh boy.
So I ended up looking into this call when this customer called,
No.
and to look in to make sure everything. I was not. First, my thought was, no, this was our rate. You called us for the windshield. I'm not discounting anything. Until I took a look at the bill, and we use not an automated dispatch, but a digital dispatch system, and it auto calculates things at times. And in this case, it messed up. It actually charged twice the mileage than it should have. Being that it was a newer driver, he just looked at it. Here's your total. This is what you owe.
Yeah.
The mileage, instead of being 12 kilometers, was 24 kilometers. So it ended up overcharging him by, $40, $50, whatever it was, including the taxes. So this worked out better than could be expected, because I was able to go to this customer and say, you know what? I looked in it and there was a mileage error. I'm going to credit you the error for the mileage. He now thinks that he has won because he got his discount. And at the end of the day, I still charge my full weight retail windshield, my full retail mileage.
But it's not supposed to be a battle.
That was a mistake.
There's not supposed to be winners and losers, right?
Have you not watched business? There is 100% winners and losers.
Yeah, but you are forming a bond. I'm not saying
I'm not forming a bond. I'm forming a business.
In the cities, it's different. Small towns, you know the person you're winching out, or someone you work with knows the person that you're winching out, right? Small word, or the words get around the town, say, yeah, buddy, old pal, tow man pulled me out, or he pushed my car out. He didn't need to use his tow truck. And
he lost money on the deal.
But you didn't.
You did.
You did not. You didn't reach your potential. I'll give you that.
Well,
but
that's
you
called
still
lost money.
Covered your overhead. You still made a little bit of money. The driver would not charge less if he was not comfortable with charging less. And the company has already said sending a truck to this location for just light service is okay at this rate. So the company shouldn't be hard up. The driver's not hard up. You gave your customer a deal. That customer is now happy, and he's going to call you again. Guaranteed. That's my stand on it.
Let's agree to disagree. It's now time for play. How much of it is TowManG? After that exchange, I'd say a very big one.
Yeah, I feel like that's the first time I think we actually really had opposing opinions on something.
I think it's perfect. I think it's great. I like whenever you're wrong and I get to point it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, backed by popular demand, welcome to another edition of How Much of a Dick is TowManG? To give you a hint, last time, G, you were only a 1.5 on the dick scale.
Oh, what does the number mean?
I don't know. I make it up every week.
Okay.
I feel like 10 is a dick. Maybe it's 5 is a dick. 5. Let's go with 5.
I don't know. Is there a 6 there on that list?
There's a 1.5. There's a 2. There's a 3.5. There's a 1.5. No, there's not. That's a 1.5 hours. Okay, so we're basing it on 5. 5 is you are a total dick. 1 or 0 is you are a saint. Okay. I make up these scores. I get to choose. So be wary on your answers. So this was, once again, our wonderful producer, Sarah, was able to help us out, even though she couldn't be here. Come up with a how much of a dick is a TowManG question. And it's simple. A customer calls. Let's see how generous you really are. A customer calls for a baby locked in a car.
Mm-hmm.
You expedite, you hurry up, you get there, you unlock the car, the child is safe, everybody is happy, and the customer refuses to pay you. Because why are you charging when this was an emergency with my child locked in the car? What do you do? Let's see how nice of a guy you actually are, G. You just said you're building bonds. This customer now refuses to pay you. What are you doing?
Well, I am probably, depending on the situation, depending on the person, getting the child out of the car and locking the car with the keys back in it.
Ooh,
I'm going to be a dick. Now, I got your child out. I got there. I showed up. The company's now out money. I'm out time. You're refusing to pay. This
But
scenario
you're
in the last
building
one.
bonds, G. You're building bonds with G, who unlocked my kid out of the car and saved me. This story you want to put out spin earlier. You're building bonds.
Yes, but they are still paying me. This person refused to pay me after I just went above and beyond, because apparently in this situation I expedited, which is against the law for myself unless requested by the police.
I mean, expedited, yes, without police request, meaning like you know what I mean. You boogied, but you didn't, break any laws.
It was really in a state of emergency, and you thought your child was going to die right then and there. Break the window. Call the police. They'll tell you to break the window. The officer will show up and they'll break the window, or they'll have the fire department come out and they'll have tools to get into your car. I know some fire departments carry unlock kits as well. You called me for a service. I come out. I'm only going to expect the bare minimum. Give me, in the same scenario, $50 for the unlock. Right? I'll even wait.
It was a priority call that you had to drop everything else that was on your board to attend, and you were still only charging your base service rate. Get out of here.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to intentionally overcharge someone. I get it. Situations change, but that unlock is still just an unlock. It doesn't matter how busy I am. She doesn't care about that. It's an unlock, right? I'm gonna charge her that $50. Plus the tax and plus the fuel surcharge. In this situation, I would probably even drop the fuel surcharge just to give her a little bit of a break. Should I? No, she locked a kid in the car. But that's besides the point. She's not paying me. I'm locking the keys back in the car as long as the child's out. Because now you got to get another unlock. Pay me next time. Give me a 5.
I got a question.
What's that?
Do you charge the police more?
Do I
charge a call for more? Like if the police call you out for a call, do you charge more than any other service?
Is it for light service? Like if the police called and say I need a tow for this individual,
or a suspension or whatever? Yes.
Well, if the police is just requesting a tow for a passerby, no, we charge regular COD rates. We have different police contracted rates.
Okay, then if there's if there's an impound. An impound tow, are you charging more than your regular retail rate?
We're charging our contracted rate, yes.
Okay. Is your contracted rate more than your retail rate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Why?
Because that's the contracted rate.
Because it's also a priority, right? When the police call, you drop everything else and you go. That contract rate implies drop of service. They are the top priority. If I have to drop and everything else, it is top priority. There has to be a fee included in that. I think that is one thing that a lot of people forget. I think out of that, for how much of a dick is TowManG, I am going to give you a 3.5 because I think you are a dick, but I also think you are very justified, and I think that is a great way of handling it.
Yeah.
Get the kid out, make sure everyone is safe. While they're not looking, while they're giving their hugs, lock it and close the door again and go, now you owe me whatever your rate is. We mentioned the $50 to unlock your car now that your kid is safe. You don't owe me for getting the kid out. You owe me to open it again. I think that is, I don't know how else. I don't know how you can make that any better.
No, I get it. I really do. But it's still just an unlock. Right?
I think I'm charging them more just because she pissed me off or he pissed me off refusing to pay it.
Well, yes. Now you're causing me a headache. We're standing here longer than what we need to. Yeah, there definitely should be an added dick fee.
An added, stupidity fee, dick fee, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Well, once again, as per popular demand, that was a wonderful episode of How Much of a Show is TowManG? I love that video. It will never get old. So that being said, G, we are all out of time for today. We did not get to everything. No, we have places to be, things to do, cars to tow, and cars to hopefully not discount. So I will take it from there on behalf of myself and Mr. TowManG. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for coming on out. Thank you for your amazing support. We will see you again next week. Hopefully, wonderful producer Sarah will be back as well, so we can have some fun and do some research along the way. So with that being said, take care, See you next time.
Toodles.